Good Fortune's War by Jamie Bullen. Valley Marineris, Mars. The starship Songbird moved gracefully down planet and landed in eastern Valles Marineris. A ship of exploration, Songbird and her crew, the M-Val, were examining the ancient dry seabed, looking for fossils. Robot scouts were sent out and looked around, methodically digging in places. The ship's pilot, Mother N, was a translucent hologram and patterned after her cyborg, eating chi-click. She was a synthetic organism, and the spaceship was her body. There were 19 M-Val aboard, and one of them was pregnant. The M-Val visited the beautiful blue planet first, and the entire crew was disappointed to find a large-brained species, but no space travel. Galactic Union law prohibited contact until one of those species developed space travel. The thinking was that once a planet achieved space travel, science had taken a firm hold, and a species was easier to get to know and trade with. Intelligence, however, was endemic to the third planet, and the disappointed M-Val left to investigate Mars. This enabled the crew to take far more interest in the fastball ladder than they usually would have. It was then that eating chi-click went into stasis. Little did she know at the time, this would save her life. When the robots finished collecting fossils, Songbird lifted silently off the surface of Mars. Her landing pads melted into the dull silver hull. As she left, Mother N ignited the fusion drive on a vector to Jupiter and turned off the anti-gravity drive. To protect them from a dense cluster in the asteroid belt ahead, Mother N activated short-range radar. It immediately malfunctioned, and Captain Ekshi saw the alarm. Ikshi's youngest sister Iaz, wearing a beautiful tiara, was standing next to her, looking at a hologram of Enceladus. Ikshi turned and said, "Honor me, and fix Mother N's sensor." Iaz nodded and left. As she walked sternward to the stairs, there was a lot of crowd noise coming from the gallery. Most of the crew watched as the final fastball players competed, and Iaz couldn't help staring as the game was riveting. "Who's going to win?" Iaz anxiously asked Kusil next to her. Laughing, she said, "I can't tell, Holy Mother. They are both too good." Meanwhile, Mother N was getting nervous. She thought to herself, "I won't chastise a Holy Mother. She's above reproach. What can I do?" On the bridge several moments later, Ishi was looking at a hologram of the Jovian moons, wondering if any of them might harbor life. Mother N appeared with a loud snap. "Captain, Iaz has not fixed short-range radar. My vector is taking us through a dense cluster in the asteroid field, and I don't want to go through there blind. There are large asteroids ahead of us someplace. I'm getting scared and think I should make an emergency stop. It's too risky." An angry look flashed across Exi's face. Looking at Mother N, she said, "Iaz was told some time ago to fix it. Where is she?" "She's watching the fastball championship. Tell her to go immediately to the sensor integration section of your mind and make an emergency repair to short-range radar, now." Down in the gallery overlooking the fastball game, a tiny Mother N popped and crackled in front of Iaz. She said in a hushed manner, "Holy Mother, apologies, but you must go repair short-range radar immediately. Your sister is angry, and I'm very scared. It's important. Please hurry." "Oh my God, what am I doing here?" hissed Iaz to Mother N. She ran sternward, then down the steps to Mother N's mind. Iaz saw the defective unit and pulled out the module. The room had a soft white glow, but around Iaz, modules were blinking in various colors. She pushed in a new module and watched the lights blink through color sequences, eventually all turning white. Iaz smiled, touching the wall. "Mother N, it's working now. Apologies, but the fastball championship was thrilling. I'm an idiot. Pregnancy brain, I guess. Who knows what I was thinking?" She rubbed her belly, smiling, then put the defective module in the recycle area and walked back up to the gallery, wondering who was going to win. On the bridge, Ishi studied the new hologram information generated by short-range radar, and at first, It did not make sense. Then Exie saw a huge iron asteroid heading right at the ship. She looked up in a panic and saw that the asteroid was on a collision course. "Mother N, get us out of here. The asteroid will overcome the anti-gravity bottle at this angle. Anywhere. Emergency jump. Now!" The large iron asteroid smacked into the ship, cracking it like an egg. Life support failed everywhere. Mother N short-circuited and died in a blue-white electric fog that arced and spit molten metal across the asteroid. In a matter of seconds, all of the crew died except for Eating Chi-Click, who was in stasis and safe. City of Epsilon, 2324. Olivia received a vid alert. Rox just defeated Kamikaze in double overtime. She thought about it for a moment and touched her collar. "Lisbeth." There was a connection tone. "Hey, Lisbeth, you have a minute?" "Hi, Livs. Okay, but I'm in the middle of something. Wait a minute." She yelled something about a power coupling. "I'm back." "I know who Thunder's playing in the semifinals. Rox. They beat Kamikaze. Listen, Rox has a molten defense. Thunder needs you against them, Lisbeth. Will you play with us as a ringer this weekend, as a forward? We're way under quota for ringers this season, so it's no problem. You know this game means a lot to me. Please?" "Sure, Livs. The Spacer Leagues are off while the City Leagues fight it out for the City Championship. Many Spacers are stepping in as ringers. Listen, I gotta run. I'll be home a little late tonight. I have some issues with the fusion drive. Let's just go out and get something at the promenade later." "Sure, and thanks. I'll tell Coach." That evening, Olivia, a long-legged, engaging brunette, and Lisbeth, a tall, serious-looking blonde, were seated in a Thai restaurant on the promenade. In front of them was a vid of the Rox versus Kamikaze quarterfinal match. Lisbeth said, "Look how they overprotect the corners. The center is wide open. Oh my God, did you see that play?" A Rox player went aerial to snag the frisbee and did a 360-degree rotation to land on his feet in the end zone. "Lisbeth, you know Jules plays defense for Rox?" She spread her hands over the vid, and it enlarged. "Here he is." A robot showed up and put red Thai curry and a garden salad on the table. Lisbeth served them both. Lisbeth examined the vid and smiled. "I was just thinking about Jules. His Uncle John has GA's latest spacecraft. Fast girl. Bloody thing will do a 10th light speed. Best anti-grav bottle ever designed according to GA. Lisbeth, I never told you, but Jules and I dated before graduate school." Lisbeth swallowed a bite, then said, "What happened?" "Graduate school on Alpha happened. You know I hate long-distance things. They're a waste of time." "Why didn't you try to get back together?" "I'm not sure, but you know I'm carrying a torch for Thal now. You should do something with Jules after the game. He was on Bellerophon with you. And you didn't ye?" Experience like that must have been unbelievably intense. It was. Olivia excused herself to go to the bathroom, and Lisbeth lost herself in thought about Bellerophon. The fusion reactor was in a runaway chain reaction, and Lisbeth couldn't figure out how to stop it. 103 crew members escaped in lifeboats, but 8 stayed with Lisbeth, risking their lives to save Bellerophon from a thermonuclear explosion. 5 years ago. Hot, acrid smells from electrical fires were in everyone's nose. Everyone was tense, now worried about the worst. Lisbeth yelled angrily, "What the hell have we missed?" We reloaded every system, restarted magnetic compression twice, verified the fuel is pure, verified the injectors are operating correctly, and verified the laser ignition is correct. Anybody? What have we missed? How do we fix the harmonics? There were nervous glances around. People looked at the fusion reactor temperature increasing slowly to the critical point where it would go thermonuclear. Ben said, "Could the safety systems be fucking up resonance?" "How?" said Lisbeth. "I don't know. I'm desperate. We don't have time to check all the safety systems now." She looked at the temperature gauge. "Merd, We are almost done. Jules said, could a sensor report nominal while its instruments are Shiza? It would allow rogue frequencies and fuck up resonance, right? Ben said, sure, but the primary, secondary, and tertiary systems would all have to be fried. He looked at Lisbeth and his pupils dilated. It's the 1 in a million, but he's right. This has to be it. We cooked a sensor just right, and that's the route. Lisbeth, start a calibration sequence. Quickly. It's our last shot. Lisbeth tensely manipulated a vid, trying as quickly as she could to start the test. People looked anxiously at the temperature gauge. As the test started, everyone was absorbed on what was happening. No one breathed. There it is, screamed Ben. Sensor 53, Captain. Nobody is as good as you at this. Save us. Everyone looked at the temperature, almost critical now. Lisbeth hunted rogue frequencies. Now she knew where they were from. There's one. Got it. Damn it. Another. Where is it? There. I'll erase you too. That work? She looked at the temperature, still climbing. Fuck. There's another frequency. Where is it? Where is it? There you are. Got it. Lisbeth looked at the temperature and then at Ben. She wasn't sure she made it and knew death was very near. She thought of her sister. Everyone stared at the temperature gauge. It stopped rising, and no one breathed for a number of moments. When the temperature started slowly going down, the room erupted in relief, with screaming and hugging, jumping and laughter. Olivia returned from the bathroom, jolting Lisbeth out of her reverie. That weekend, the two women took the elevators to Kappa 16. Warm-ups were getting underway. Lisbeth went to get up to speed with Thunder's tactics, while Olivia started throwing the frisbee around. When Lisbeth finished the quick review with Thunder's coach, she noticed Jules and Bugs warming up across the field. She trotted over to them, and when Jules saw her, he stopped and yelled, "Lisbeth!" She came running over smiling. "Hey, Jules!" They hugged and he spun her a little. "Hi, Bugs." Bugs smiled. "Hey, Captain, let me guess, you are a ringer for Thunder?" "Spot on." There was a whistle from Rock's coach. "Hey, let's talk after the game. Gird your loins." Lisbeth laughed. "Squashing Thunder is going to be doodle," Bugs chided. "Thanks, Bugs. If it's okay, we'll try and stop you." Bugs nodded, smiling. The game was brutal. Thunder used a modified vertical stack with mixed success. Players limped out with injuries, one seriously. Lisbeth narrowly avoided a bad fall, dancing around some equipment when she went crashing out of bounds at one point. Bugs banged his knee hard after a jump that resulted in a goal. Later, Olivia got the wind knocked out of her trying for a goal and had to sit out for a while. Jules and other defenders shut down much of Thunder's offense, but they were scored on. Lisbeth did lots of damage, but Rock scored too, and the lead changed hands back and forth. On one play, Lisbeth performed an outstanding fake and got free for a score. As she trotted upfield with the frisbee, Jules ran over. "Brilliant moves back there. I think you are playing better than I've ever seen." He put out his palm and she gave him a low 5. As the game roiled on, Rocks managed to keep the lead, and despite heroic efforts by Thunder, Rocks won 19-16. Rocks were on their way to the finals against Ragnarok, 2 weeks away. Lisbeth and Olivia walked to Thunder's sideline. The team got together and gave Rocks a big cheer. Afterward, Olivia got involved in a discussion about next season. Lisbeth walked across the field to see Jules. "How is the knee?" Jules asked, looking at Bugs. Bugs felt his knee, wincing a little. "It'll hurt tomorrow. I banged it pretty hard. It's already turning dark blue." "You going to work all night?" "Olivia's pushing a major pub and I'm on point for tech, so no dancing for me." He looked up. "Hey, Lisbeth. God fucking damn, but you played plasma. You should be a ringer with us in the championship." "Hi, Bugs, thanks. Hey, Jules, I'm so impressed with Rocks. You folks are just superb." She smiled at Bugs. It would be fun to play with rocks in the championship. Count me in. Why not? She and Bugs touched fists. Olivia jogged up and kissed Lisbeth. Hey, Jules, Bugs. Jules and Olivia hugged next. He whispered, We kicked your ass, Livs. Sorry, this is Rox's year. I'm feeling it. He kissed her cheek and gave her a loving smile. Olivia was chagrined. Yeah, you guys won fair and square. End of the line for Thunder. Hey, Bugs, I'm going to head home to get cleaned up and change. I'm hoping this isn't going to take all night, but sometimes getting all the references and backup stuff takes forever. She looked at Lisbeth, then back to Bugs. Let's head out together and grab some food near work later? Sure. Jules, if we get done early, I'll give you a beep. I've got issues with Esmeralda's fusion drive I need to see about, but I'll be done after dinner. Lisbeth, maybe I'll see you later, but don't wait up. Probably going to be a late night for us, Olivia offered. Okay. Lisbeth kissed her goodbye. Olivia glanced at Jules and hugged him. Jules, great game, Bugs exclaimed, and they touched fists. Nice playing with you, Lisbeth. He and Olivia took their backpacks and headed to the elevators with Bugs favoring his left knee. Here's my stuff, Jules pointed out, holding up his backpack. I'll walk you to the elevator. They walked together to Lisbeth's kit, talking as they went. Lisbeth, how many times do you think we've shipped out together? Oh, more than 100, surely. Closer to 200 now that I think on it. You still have a perfect operational record with CMs? I do. Do you remember last time you were at John's house? Easy one. That was the Bellerophon party. We danced, remember? Oh yeah, we did. I forgot about that. You were fun. Ah, drunk too. Lisbeth found her kit and put everything into her backpack. Together they walked to the elevator. The crowd was starting to disperse, except for some people across the field, setting up a picnic and getting combat flyers out. Who were you with? Brad. He thought I had a thing for you. The real reason we broke up was he couldn't handle my fame, and we ended rather soon after. I learned my lesson about dating other spaceship captains. He's on Gamma now. Military work for Mars. You remember who I was with? It was early days, I think. No, I don't. Who was it? Livs. They arrived at the local elevators. Jules, do you think I can get a tour of Fast Girl tomorrow morning with my officers? Absolutely. We are even on the same concourse. John wants to leave by 9, so how about I collect you at 8:30 outside Esmeralda? Excellent, I'll see you then. She kissed him on the cheek, and as she got into the elevator, Jules heard her say, Gamma. Jules went back to his home on Omicron 9 and thought about things. Since Bellerophon, he had been strongly attracted to Lisbeth, but her fame made him insecure, thinking after all he was just an asteroid miner, and what could she possibly see in him? So he never did anything about it. Jules had just finished getting his kit ready for space when Bugs beeped him. Jules, good luck. I'm done early. You want to do something? Sure. Let's go to He's Not Here and play some pool. He's Not Here was a large establishment on Alpha 8. It was hard to miss with its huge neon blue hologram, just down the concourse from the elevators. It had a large restaurant and bar, and a big place for live music and dancing, separated by a large stone fireplace and arched stone walls. The best part was in the back. 10 pocket billiard tables and a dozen vidball games, all with a circular bar in the middle. A few people were playing pool, but all the vidball games were being used. Decorating the walls were huge vids of beautiful places in the solar system. Jules got an empty table by the gaming area and ordered beers. After toasting their victory, they decided to play some straight pool. After Bugs beat him 2 straight games, they switched to 8-ball. Your game is off tonight, Bugs said. It was seeing Lisbeth. I really need to work up the courage to ask her out. I don't know why I'm such a coward when it comes to her. All I know is I'm beating you at pool. 8-ball, corner pocket. After he sunk the shot, Bugs looked at Jules. I think she likes you, for what it's worth.